investing. That is a topic that stirs up a lot of different emotions in people. There's a lot of people that think that cards are just for collecting. It's for people to stockpile because they like them, not because they want to make money or something like that. And that's not always the case. Since I was a kid, we would go to the store and buy garbage pail kids. We'd buy sports cards, NFL, whatever, and try to pull our favorite players, stuff like that, or pull our favorite garbage pail kids, and Pokemon wasn't around at that time. So, but we would always check prices. They always had price guides. Back then you would buy a book once every couple months that had prices. It was stuff like that. You didn't have this internet pricing at your fingertips like TCG Player and stuff like that. So there was always an investing side of collectibles, but we didn't call it investing. We just were collecting what we liked, and we saw appreciation sometimes, and then we'd see things crash. Back in the 90s, 80s and 90s, they printed so much of the sports cards. They're really not worth that much. Even the big hitters back then, there was $50 McGuire cards and Canseco's and stuff like that, or some of those garbage pail kids first series. They got so expensive, and then they crashed. They crashed hard because they stopped making them. The hype went away. The people who collected them, they didn't have new products, so the interest kind of disappeared, stuff like that. But there's always a investing segment to collectibles. Now it's at the forefront of certain people. They just are in it for investing anyway, and they're not there to collect. They're just there to invest. And so there's a difference between collecting and investing. And I want to kind of talk about those differences, and specifically with the Pokemon. We'll touch on a little bit of the sports cards a little bit, but Pokemon is kind of king of the collectible / investing. I know sports cards, it's different. The rules are very different with sports cards. Very different these days. It's insane. Sports cards, you can kill a product by pulling the top chases, and if they surface, the sealed products aren't going to be worth nowhere near as much. Pokemon, you don't have that issue. You can't kill a product by pulling out a Moonbreon, or the new Umbreon from Prismatic. It won't kill no matter how many of them are pulled. It doesn't kill the product. The product just continues to go up. You know what I mean? So with the sports cards, the Curry's Gold 1/1 rookie, I guess, hasn't been pulled from the 2009 Topps box yet. Those boxes go for quite a bit of money. It's probably pulled. It's probably sitting in someone's collection. They just haven't divulged that they have it. So it's speculation that the card is still floating around in a box somewhere, and boxes go for tens of thousands of dollars, because of the possibility of pulling that Curry. But once that Curry surfaces, those boxes lose the value. You kill the product by taking the biggest hit out of there. That's a sports card thing. Sealed Pokemon booster boxes, sealed high-end ETBs that people want, sealed booster bundles, things like that. You can't kill those products. You can't. So sports cards, there's a little difference in the sealed market for sports cards. If it's a product like a booster booster box, a blaster they call them in sports cards, a blaster box, they're a little bigger than like a booster bundle. They got like 6 packs or so. Some of those don't have 1/1 chases in them, so you really can't kill that product. But they do have numbered cards, like the number to 249 or something like that. And it's hard to track if all 249 were pulled, because it's a little bit difficult. But 1/1s are easy to track. When they get pulled, it's big news. It's on If Sports top 10 pulls of the week, all that kind of stuff. So we know. And now a lot of times you'll see a streamer hit like the big hit from there. And then they'll just shout out, "Oh, product killer alert, we got it," something like that. So yeah, you don't get that with Pokemon. With Pokemon, it's a little bit different. Pokemon goes up over time. It doesn't start off high and get destroyed by product being pulled. It starts off at a certain amount, and it continues to climb as time goes by, and the products get to mature. More of it gets, the more that gets ripped, the less sealed is floating around. So So when it comes to collecting, so my son is a Pokemon collector. He's got binders full of stuff. When we rip booster boxes, he keeps all the EXs. He keeps all that stuff. Investors don't buy EX cards. They don't buy the double rare stuff like that. They barely buy gold cards unless it's, the gold Pikachu or something. The gold Charizard from Obsidian Flames, a $25 card. It will continue to go up over time, but I mean, look at the gold Snorlax from Chilling Reign. It's like $70. It was sitting around that mark for a very, very long time. It hasn't really climbed too much. I could see the gold Charizard from Obsidian Flames being a $60, $70 card, in 3, 4, 5 years or whatever. It's not going to shoot to the moon. It's not. So that's not like, an investor's favorite thing. If you're a Charizard collector, it's a must-have. Absolutely a must-have. But if you're an investor, you only buy the big hits. You only buy, maybe the Obsidian Flames Charizard is a good investment, maybe. But the one from Paldea and Fates is an absolute monster of an investment. If you were able to get those at 100, now they're at 220 or whatever they are. The Magikarps, let's see here. I think I got a Magikarp here. I paid $66 for this Magikarp. Now it's going for 2 something. We bought 2 of the Magikarps. We never pulled them, but my son's got the better looking one. It's slightly better. It's got a little bit better edges and corners. I mean, this is a near mint. This will sell for the 240, whatever, or I think there's almost 250. This will sell for the 250 every day. My son's better copy will sell for the same exact 250 as well. There's no surface damage, nothing on this card. It's a beautiful card, and they both sell for the same. So I told him, you take the better looking one, and I'll keep this one in the investment binder. But like I said, so collectors collect what they like. Collectors will buy what they like, without the thought of it going up in value, and that's the innocent part of like trading cards. I love that. That's what I have always liked. Get what you like, buy what you like. Collect what you like, put your binders, maybe you have a whole binder of Charizards, or you got a binder with a Charizard, a Pikachu, just to look like nostalgic Gen 1 kind of stuff. Whatever you want to do, that's what a collector does. An investor doesn't do that. You don't do that kind of stuff, because that's how you're gonna, your money is not gonna move as much. You could possibly even lose money buying things that you like if you think that's gonna be an investment. Investors buy what they think other people are going to like. That's what you do as an investor. You buy what you think other people will like. So as an investor, Pokemon Center ETBs are a good investment. These are a good investment. It's got the Pokemon Center here. It's got the stamped Mimikyu. That would be got a stamped Mimikyu. That's this guy here with the Pokemon Center stamp on it, if you guys look closely there. So that's the kind of like stuff you buy as an investor. The investor is this one. A non-investor, there'd be like someone, I have to have one of every ETB. They got like a wall with all their ETBs, one of every ETB. So the collector with one of every ETB that's a collector of like a sealed product or so. The investor doesn't buy one of every ETB. You're not buying an ETB of Darkness Ablaze. You're not buying a Vivid Voltage ETB. You're buying Pokemon Center ETBs. You're buying Evolving Skies ETBs, regular or Pokemon Center. You're buying things that and everyone else is going to want later on, and that is going to go up faster. So even with Pokemon Center ETB, so I'm big on Paldea and Fates. These were sitting on the Pokemon Center website for the longest time. They didn't sell out the day it came out. They didn't sell out a week. They didn't sell out a month after. They were there for the longest time. You could have bought these. Now these are going for over $175. These will be $200 soon. So if you can get these under 200 now, get them now, because they aren't going to be below 200 for too long, and they will never dip back under there. So, and then the regular ETBs are going for like 100, and those are going to continue to climb. We're seeing 151 ETBs going for like 170. Paldea and Fates, they're going to be up there too. It's got the biggest hit from the earlier part in the Bubble Mew. That whole era around that time, going all the way up to even up to Twilight Masquerade. It's Bubble Mew's more expensive than the Greninja, but after that, Surging Sparks Pikachu, and then there's a lot going on with that stuff. But like I said, when it comes to that, so this is a better investment than the Twilight Masquerade ETB. Twilight Masquerade packs, because of the Greninja, might stay a lot, but Twilight Masquerade is to me, it was a mid set, and it still is a mid set. The Greninja is, yes, a high quality chase card, but the rest of the set kind of low. It's not that much. So in that set, my son is a collector. He's a Blood Moon Ursaluna fan. He has all the Blood Moon Ursaluna cards. An investor will not buy all those cards. An investor will buy the Greninja from that set, and that's it. Well, actually, there's an EV2. So The two investment cards from that set are the Greninja and the Eevee IR. There's 3 investment cards in this set, which is the Gardevoir, the Bubble Mew, and the Charizard. So like I said, so the rest of the cards in the set are for collectors. Those top 3 hits are for collectors and investors. You're a Charizard collector, that's a must-have. You're a Gardevoir collector, that card is a must-have. You know, if you're a Mimikyu collector, everything Mimikyu, I mean, so you end up getting some pretty good, like I said, the Pokemon Center stamped card is like an investment card. It's definitely a better investment than like the Iron Bundle from Paradox Rift or the Fluttermane from Temporal Forces. So like I said, there's a difference between collecting and investing. So a collector's sealed is going to look a lot different than an investor's sealed. And a collector's binder is going to look way different than an investor's binder. A collector's binder is going to have those Blood Moon Ursalunas like that. My son's other favorite is Hisuian Zoroark. He likes Zoroark, but he likes Hisuian Zoroark especially. So he's got all those cards. He's got some PSA 10s. He's got all kinds of stuff. Those are collector cards. They are going to go up in value. Absolutely going to go up in value because, you know, that Crown Zenith Hisuian Zoroark, we paid $40 for a PSA 10 long ago because he liked that card. I surprised him with it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy that in a PSA 10. It's only $40. That's ridiculous. When the card was like, by itself, the card was like $9 at the time. I was like, you know what? I'm going to splurge and do the $40 PSA 10 because that's not bad at all. Well, now some of those Hisuian Zoroarks in a PSA 10, they are selling over 100 now. I think the highest one was like 179, and then I've seen some for in the 130s. It's simmered back down. I don't know, all of a sudden people got overzealous and bought some at that height, but I think it's selling now for around 115 in a PSA 10, which is nice, and the Crown Zenith will pop off. But for the same 40 at the same time, there was other cards in a PSA 10 that would be more suited to an investor, you know what I mean, as opposed to a collector. Hisuian Zoroark is not wildly popular. So for $40, you know, you can get like, well, you used to be able to get for less than 40 this Charmander here. So Charmander, not only, it has 2 things going for it for investor, and that is 151 and it's Charmander. So if you collect all Charmanders, 151 is probably one of the more expensive, just regular old little Charmanders here. There's so many Charmanders that you can pick up for $2-3 here, 50 cent, commons, hollows, and things like that. If you're a Charmander collector, investors don't buy those. They only, this is a Charmander for an investor and a collector. So, and like I said, stamped promos. Like I said, these Pokemon Center stamped promos. We have 3 of these. My son's got one in his collection, and I got 2 of them for the investment binders. But like I said, these right here will continue to go up. Continue, you know. We're getting these at $75. Now they're selling for like 110. That's they've already seen money go up so much, so fast on these. Like I said, anything 151. The Zapdos was highly undervalued for the longest time. But like right now, if you pick up a bunch of these at like, I think these are in the mid 60s now, $60. By this time next year, we're going to see these over 100. These will be over $100 because, you know, Blooming Water is kind of like the last box of 151 for now. Nothing else has been, you know, like in the queue from Pokemon for 151. But like I said, so 151 has like such a collectible value to it that it's a good investment as well. Like almost everything. So collectors, like I said, Hisuian Zoroark, Blood Moon Ursaluna, those are some of my son's favorite. We buy all those cards. They look great in his binder next to the other ones. He likes Alolan Executor. He loves that. So at a Surging Sparks, that's the only card I bought him was the Alolan Executor because I got it for $40. It shot up to over 100. Now it's back out down in the 60 or whatever, $60. But he loves that card. So I bought that. I didn't buy 2 or 3 extras to throw on the investment side of things because I don't believe in that as an investment. So when you invest in, like I said, what everyone likes. So Pikachu is an easy investment. Go buy some Pikachu cards. Even so, I don't know if you guys seen, you know, the that little Pikachu that came out of almost every other pack you opened of Celebrations, is that like full art homage Pikachu that, like, to the Red Cheeks one from base set, but it's like a new version of the artwork. Those things were sitting at like 50 cents for the longest time. Now they're a little over $1, maybe even $2 now. But the PSA 10s are selling in the 100, like 150 or something like that, 170 or something like that for this little card that wasn't worth much. But like I said, in the long term, once some of this stuff dries up and things get hot, Pikachu's climb. Latias is popular. Latias is like this card right here was sitting at like 250, but like for example, there's a Cleavor in one of these sets. I think it's Silver Tempest 2. This Latias is this is a Galarian Gallery. It's kind of like a trainer gallery, but not yellow border, it's but this card was sitting down at like 250 for so long. $2.50. You can buy these all day long for 250. You might even try and sell them for like $2 or $1 something. But like the Cleavor, it was like a 40-cent card, 50-cent card, whatever, for a card, a beautiful card. But it's Cleavor as opposed to Latias. These Latias cards are now, I think they're up over $10, 9 to 12, somewhere in that range. I'm not sure, something like that. But I think they're going to continue to climb. And that Cleavor card has got out of that sub $1 thing. But I don't think it's much more than that. I think you can get it for like $1.39 or something like that, $1.49. If you're a Cleavor collector, it's a must-have at that price. But as an investor, even at that price, your money's better well spent. You could buy one of these, or like 4 or 5 of those Cleavors. I'd rather one of these because it's Latias, and Latias is a popular Pokemon. Something that these trainer gallery cards were highly undervalued. Galarian gallery cards highly undervalued. Now we're seeing things like the Mew from there, the Sleeping Mew from the Galarian gallery is now like it's over 20 card. It hit 25. It's simmering and it's going to sit around that $20 mark, and then the next time it pops off, it'll probably go over 30. But you're not going to see the Cleavor doing that. So like I said, investors buy things like the Gardevoir right here. The Gardevoir's popular. The best Gardevoir card is definitely the one from Paldea and Fates, but this is a nice one too. It's not bad. This is beautiful. It's got a Kirlia and a Ralts that tell a story. An investor might buy multiple copies of that little 3-card story, or maybe just a bunch of the Gardevoirs or a bunch of the Kirlia or the Ralts, whatever. I think the Ralts is probably the second best of the storyline right here. Maybe some people like that Ralts even more. Ralts, and that card just popped off. It's above $30 right now for that card that was sitting at $8 or $9 for the longest time. But like I said, when you give something time, it becomes more worthwhile as an investment. Definitely time for sure. But when sometimes when things pop off, you see 400 or 500% gains, which is insane. It's nuts, So I believed this is one I believed in highly, was highly undervalued, and was sitting at a too low of a price. But this is the last Groudon that we bought. I paid $50, so $55 shipped, I think, something like that. $55 shipped. By the time it landed, it was up over 60, and now it's up over 100. And I didn't get this that long ago. It was $55. But like I said, I believed in it. The Tyranitar too, same artist. The Tyranitar from Paldea Evolved, same artist, and it's sitting at 47. It's 47 right now. So why the Groudon popped off so much more, and it's from 3 sets after, actually. Paradox Rift. So what is it? Paldea Evolved has the Tyranitar, and then we had Obsidian Flames 151, and then Paradox Rift. So this is the heavy hitter from Paradox Rift. This is the Paradox Rift's Magikarp, I guess. But Paldea Evolved has the Raichu and the Tyranitar in there, and the Meryl's looking crazy right now. I mean, there's so many cards. But to me, the Groudon, the Tyranitar, those are no-brainers. Like I said, the Tyranitar's at about $48 right now. I think that's a good pickup. That's a good pickup. Grab a couple copies of that and just sit on those as an investor. It's also a must-have as a collector. It's a beautiful card. If you're missing that from your collection, grab it before it goes too crazy. That's what it's just, when something goes crazy and pops off, it just goes crazy and pops off. And the Magikarp has proved that. That's, we were missing the Magikarp. So I got my son a copy, and then I bought another copy for myself to hold on to. That copy looked better than the first one, so that was the. So my son has the one we paid more for in his collection, and I have the one that we got for 66 or 62. I think 66 landed, and man, they just, you never know when someone's gonna pop off. But like I said, if you go and get things that everyone else likes, like we paid 90, I think I bought my son his Bubble Mew for 95. It was slabbed in a PSA 9 slab for like 95 bucks, $400 now. And some of those 9s are going for like 450 in a PSA 9, 430, things like that. So, but like I said, so as an investor, you buy what's hot. So here's another thing. We got 2 items that are almost identical besides the set and the character that's in there. You got Alakazam from 151 and you got a King Gambit. The card in here is better. This is just a regular EX type card. This is an illustration rare of King Gambit. It's a very nice card in here. This card is a nothing card in here. It's never going to be valuable. It's never going to be anything. That card in there is just, it's just thrown in there to make an Alakazam box. This card right here has effort, has some awesomeness to it. I mean, it's going to be, we know promos from this era, illustration rare promo, SIR promos and IR promos are actually going to be doing very well later on. This box is probably going to be doing well. But if you had this is $21.99, this is $21.99. This is a way better investment because it's 151, even though this has a better card. Not every investment is going to be the same. Sealed, I don't like as a collector, like when I was a kid, I never kept sealed packs or sealed boxes or anything like that. I didn't do that. I never did that. I like to open my packs and put my cards in binders and stuff like that. So like I said, these are, to me, these are in more of an investment if you're going to keep it like that. But you know, there are people, maybe there's people who like the way these boxes look. They open all the product they want and then they buy one box only, usually just to keep as an investment kind of thing, you know. So it's just they'll buy whatever they like, whatever looks good. They don't think of what you know, down the road, how many people are going to want that product later, because it's for them. It's what makes them happy to see, to look at, and all that kind of stuff. Investors don't care about that. Investors are going to go buy the one with the not as desirable card because this is a better investment, because it is 151. You know, you're going to buy that's how you look at things as an investor. You know what I mean? As a like an investor, you, like I said, you're always going to think about what it's going to be like to move that later. How much, you know, what the market's going to be like. You know, you always got to think about that kind of stuff. You know, so 151. I was heavy on this. I bought tons of these boxes right here because I was so heavy on the Master Ball Chase and the Nostalgia and the 151. There's Pikachu's in here. There's Charmanders, Bulbasaurs, all the stuff, all the most popular Pokemon are in here. You know, so even like the Japanese singles are so cheap. They're not going to be cheap for long. So like the Japanese version of the Charmander is so much cheaper than this one. This guy right here is like 50, or maybe it's 60 almost. It's a very expensive card, but in Japanese they're like $9-10. As this goes up, when this card hits $100, those Japanese ones aren't going to be $9 and $10. They're going to be a lot more. They'll be like 30 or something like that. So they are good investments as well. If Japanese isn't for you, then you don't collect or buy. My son likes Japanese, so his binders have English and Japanese singles in it. Sometimes we got one of each. The Japanese ones always look just a little bit better when it's textured. The Japanese Charmander like this will look exactly the same. It's just a hollow whatever. But the textured cards, like he's got the Paldean Fates Charizard SIR, the Japanese and the English one, and the Japanese one just looks that little bit much better for some reason. Even though the English one looks amazing, the Japanese one just looks a little bit better, you know what I mean? So as an investor, when you believe in something like the Master Ball Chase and the set and the nostalgia and all that stuff, you invest in that. You buy that. You don't buy something that, like Shrouded Fable, as an investor over that. If you believe that this will go up, yeah, you do that. And I bought a bunch of these. I got a bunch of these boxes here. I do believe it'll go up, but I don't think it's going to go up like these. These have hit like $55. These are sitting at about 22 right now, almost 20. I think these are going up every day though. These are going up every day. So are these. But I think 151 had such a big jump recently that, you know, it's kind of chilling out It's kind of simmered down, cooling off a little bit right now, but it's not going to drop. I think it'll chill for a bit, and then when tax season comes, we're going to see some more big gains on 151. Another thing, Crown Zenith was printed like crazy, but anytime you see any like Crown Zenith stuff now, as an investor, you have to get it. You have to buy it. If you get a good deal on a case somewhere, someone's selling a case, or store's closing down, you run to the 151 section and the Crown Zenith section and grab all that stuff, because I haven't seen any hobby shop that closed down and doing big ass sales of stuff, but it would, where would I go first? 151, Crown Zenith, and any Sword and Shield stuff in that block after Battle Styles. I'm not going to the Darkness Ablaze. I'm not looking for Vivid Voltage. I'm looking for Brilliant Stars, Fusion Strike, Evolving Skies, anything like that, So if anyone's having a fire sale and stuff like that, Crown Zenith, anything Crown Zenith. This one has a cool little illustration rare. But if I had a choice between this tin and the Moltres tin or the Galarian Zapdos tin, I'm grabbing the Moltres tin all day, every day. That Galarian Moltres promo is better than the other two. So that's that's the investor side. If you're a collector and I already got the Moltres one, but there's a Galarian Articuno one, okay, I'll grab that just so I can have both. That's a collector. An investor grabs all the Moltres and leaves the Galarian Zapdos and the Galarian Articuno, unless he wants to grab everything, So investors go after the more desirable characters, the more desirable sets, the more desirable products. Booster bundles are a very desirable product. If you can get a booster bundle or, like, say, a poster collection for the same price, you're going to get the booster bundle, of course. But the poster collection has 3 packs, this has 6. But if there's a product that had 6 packs and wasn't selling for as much, you go for that. That's how you do it. As an investor, you invest in what you think is going to be worth more later on. You invest in what's popular: Charizard, Pikachu, Greninja, stuff like that. You don't invest in Blood Moon Ursaluna, Galarian Articuno. As an investor, you're going after what everyone else wants. And that's kind of what's going on right now with Prismatic. I think there's a lot of people who jumped in thinking that they're going to make a ton of money. We're going to invest in Prismatic. We're going to invest in Surging Sparks because of that Pikachu and all that stuff. And it's what everybody wants. So when everybody wants something, everyone else wants to get their hands on it to sell it to those people who want it. I understand why that bothers a lot of people. There's a lot of people that think that, oh man, I'm a collector, I belong here, you don't, and stuff like that. To a lot of the investor people, I've been seeing a lot of people try to say that Nostalgianomics. I like watching his rips, man. Especially when he does the mystery slab rips. Those are fun. I literally could just put that on in the background while I'm doing stuff and just watch him rip for hours. And people are opening Prismatic and all kinds of things. There's a guy on there. I think I don't remember what his things are. I think his last name on there is like Stein or something. He orders almost every single time and orders tons of packs. Anytime I hear his name, here we go. We got tons of packs coming. Let's go. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's ripping. But people were trying to say that, oh, I bet Nostalgianomics don't even like Pokemon. He don't even have a collection. He doesn't. Really? So just because the guy's making money ripping packs and has tons and tons of ETBs he must have opened of Prismatic that he's buying at not MSRP, not below. He's buying at market value, just in bulk, and ripping them on his channel. Why? It's funny. There's this holier than thou collector mentality that and then they start bashing other people because they can't get products, and it's kind of weird. It's kind of strange. It's I can get whatever product I want. I'm accepting that I'm going to pay market value, and I'm lucky if I find it at the store for MSRP. I can get any product I want. I just have to open my wallet to get it. So I don't complain. I really don't complain about that. I like I said, I don't play the Pokemon game. I am not the biggest collector of Pokemon stuff. I like sports cards better, but I do like the collectability and the investability of Pokemon. I do like that there is no killer products in there. If they ever put one of ones, I would be like, yeah, no, I don't like that. That's one thing I don't like about the aspect of sports cards. I like that there's tons of different parallels to collect and, you know, stuff like that. I like that they throw nostalgic characters. My son is a big Larry Bird fan, so where I can get a numbered Larry Bird green, or a parallel. I can get some this year. You can get Larry Bird in the Monopoly, Prism Monopoly. So that's kind of cool. So we're gonna wait for Prism Monopoly to come out on the. It's actually out today, the 15th. And when people start pulling those numbered Larry Birds and stuff, I'm gonna see which Larry Bird I can get the best at the best price. Because my son has Larry Birds in one touches. We put him in one touches, and he's got him up there standing with his Pokemon that are in like the stands that come in some of those sets. Actually, we have a Steph Curry numbered card in one of those Pokemon stands. So they're the one from the Charizard box, you know, with the flames on there and stuff. We have a numbered Steph Curry from the Monopoly. It's a number to 249, a brown Steph Curry, bronze or brown, whatever, numbered to 249. And you know, it's a beautiful card. It looks awesome in the Charizard thing with the red and all that stuff. But like I said, we're more of, when it comes to the sports stuff, we're collectors. So we collect Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, stuff like that. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. That's my favorite basketball player. So we collect that. I'm not gonna go buy a numbered LeBron James. I'm not a LeBron James fan. As an investor, I would. Like sports card investor, I like watching he trades LeBrons and Tiger Woods cards and race car, Indy car driver, you know, stuff like that. Those are in big investments if you believe in them. Kobe Bryant, stuff like that. But as an investor, I like, you know, some a collector of sports cards. I like Steph Curry. I like my Magic Johnsons. I like that. And I like to buy numbered cards of them for you know, just for my own purpose. Because I don't expect those to be worth much more than I pay for them 10 years from now. That bronze Steph Curry, I got it because I really wanted a numbered Monopoly Prism Steph Curry. And someone sold that thing to me for like $12 or something like that. So I don't expect that thing is going to be worth $1,000 10 years from now. I expect it's going to be a $10 card for its entirety of its life. $10, $15, $20. It's not a rookie. It's Steph Curry's 15th season or whatever. I don't know how long he's been playing, but you know, that's more of like a collecting mindset of that. I don't expect that card to go up. I don't expect the sealed product from that year of Prism Monopoly to really go up in like crazy. I mean, you can get it for the same price as this. This is going to be very expensive 5 years from now. The sealed product for we can pull that Steph Curry out of that I'm talking about, it will be more than it is now, but it ain't going to be very expensive. You know, all the one-of-ones were probably already pulled by now, and nobody's chasing that. It was Chet Holmgren and Paolo Banchero were the big chases in there. Their cards have simmered off a little bit. You know, there are one-of-ones, there are RPAs that are hella very expensive, but you know, they're not my players. They're not the people I'm chasing. They're not, you know, so that's the one kind of cool aspect of being a collector is when you open a bunch of sealed products, whether it be sports or Pokemon or whatever it is that you open, if all you are collecting is like my son Blood Moon or Saluna and stuff like that, and maybe he didn't like Greninja, say he opened enough stuff and he pulled a Greninja, he keeps the cards you want. You sell the Greninja so you can go open more stuff. And I think there's a lot of people that do that because there's a lot of Greninjas on the market. You go up there on eBay, you'll find some, and maybe someone just likes, you know, certain cards from there. Maybe there's an Eevee fan chasing that Eevee card, and you know, they pull a few other cards they like. Awesome. But then you pull some of the big heavy hitters and you sell it because that's not what I'm collecting. So that's kind of cool. But an investor, you pull one of those Greninjas out of there, you put that in your stockpile of investment product, you leave it sitting there. So it's like a little bit different. Like I said, it's so different as a collector and investor how you go about your products that you will go out there and search for and grab and, you know, stockpile in your binders or hoard, you know, in boxes. It's very different. Like I said, Charizard is a good investment for the most part. Pikachu is a good investment for the most part. If you're a Cleavor fan, there's no investability in that Pokemon just yet. There may be a Cleavor special illustration card that comes out maybe one day that could be worth a little bit of money, but you know, don't hold your breath. It's not, I bring up Cleavor because, it was that, he's a very obscure Pokemon that, no one never talks about, Cleavor, or, we got like the Caterpies, and those are Gen 1 when you got some Gen 1 ones like that. But like when it comes to 151, I'm not stockpiling a bunch of Machokes. I'm not stockpiling a bunch of who's that? What else? The Mr. Mime that's in there, or the Tangela. I'm not stockpiling all those ones. The Omanite is another one that's in there, in the illustration rare from 151. But I will grab a bunch of those Dragonairs. I will grab a bunch of the Pikachu IRs from that set. Go after the ones that that everyone else is going to go after later on, and they're going to want those cards later on. Yeah, there's going to be some Machoke fans looking for Machoke, and that card is going to go up. It will continue to go up as it has, but it ranges around $9 to $12 depending on the day, or where the wind blowing, or what's going on TCG Player. But it's never going to be the most expensive card, and your money is more well spent as an investor on the bigger hits. Do you want 2 Machokes, or one of the Dragonairs, or one of the War Turtles? For the price, you go get the War Turtle, you go get the Dragonair, and you let the collectors collect the Machokes. That's the difference right there. It's the same thing. Do you want to go and spend thousands on a one-of-one LeBron when you're not a LeBron fan? Or would you rather just go get some, Curry autos, that are not rookie cards or whatever, or maybe you collect Jimmy Butler, you go get the Butler cards, or, there's the different mentality and different mindset. Collectors just buy what makes them happy. Investors buy what makes them money. Makes sense, right? All right, man. So I just wanted to go over the differences between collecting and investing. And like I said, my son is a collector. I'm more an investor when it comes to Pokemon. When it comes to sports cards, we're both collectors. He's a Larry Bird guy. I'm a Magic Johnson, Steph Curry. He's a Curry guy as well. Also, I forgot, he loves Draymond Green. So I'm going to have to find him a nice numbered Draymond Green card. I wonder if his rookie cards are cheap. I'm not sure. I'll have to look, because that'd be kind of nice to have in the collection. A rookie Draymond Green for my son. But anyway, yeah. So as a investor and a collector, there's 2 different mindsets. There's 2 different ways they go about it. And there's, definitely 2 different looking collections / a collection and an investment portfolio are going to look totally different. There's going to be things that in a collection that you won't see in investment, or you shouldn't see. Only a bad investor is going to have some of those not so investable cards that a collector would have. So anyway, end of my video. Enjoy your collecting or investing, whatever you do, whether it's sports cards or Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever. Actually, don't invest in Yu-Gi-Oh. Sorry. End of my video. I'm out.